Well, hello to my wonderful subscribers. I so appreciate you. I really appreciate you. Glad you're here. So, I hope you just go with this. First of all, I want to say this is for spiritual and entertainment purposes only. Just roll with me for a minute. It's difficult sometimes to know where to start. I'll start here. About a year ago, I was painting and I had friends on. It was evening, because I don't turn my TV on until like 5 at night, 5 in the evening. So I had it on, I had the Friends TV show going, and I was smiling and painting and having a great time. And it occurred to me, why do we love sitcoms so much? Why do we as a society love our TV shows? And I had chosen to disconnect from cable decades ago, and we do streaming services, but during the time of 45, it became very important to me. I also had health issues of my own that I was dealing with, to create a sanctuary for myself and a safe place. And I've become increasingly more discerning about what energies I want around me, what I find entertaining has changed. So I don't even know how many times I've watched that TV show, Friends. But once that question was asked, questions like that stay alive, and they're just, the subconscious, when it comes across things that are in alignment with that question, it goes, hello, look. So I came to think that the reason I like Friends so much is because it made me feel like, one, I had friends that were, keeping me company. And not at all intrusive, because I could just turn them off. But also that they each seemed to, could relate. They could relate to the characters when they embarrassed themselves, or they acted like buffoons, or were typical emotions, and how intense they can grip us. And so then I started looking at the show like one entity. And each of these actors and actresses were playing a part, which is what they call it, playing a part. And sometimes we play a part in our own success, or our own demise, or certainly in our own story and in other people's lives. So we want to make sure that's for the highest good, for the good of ourselves and others, for the good of Earth. So anyway, back to that show. So I reasoned with that, okay, so all the people in the TV show are aspects of, with the show being one entity, and these are all like personality aspects of that. And so I'm like, okay, brain, thank you for mentioning that. And went on with my life. And I came across Richard Schwartz's book, No Bad Parts. Now, I posted this on the community page. I think I got this book about a month ago, I want to say. And I haven't even read it all. I've watched some videos that he's in, explaining what IFS type of counseling is and how it works and what it does. And it describes parts, exiles, first off, protectors, and then there's unblending with protectors. And like, why would I want to do that? I'm a defender. I'm a defender of Earth and of animals, and what the heck? And the answer I received was, because your protectors are as young as 3, and 4, and 5, and 7. don't know what happened to 8, but I think we'll find out as we continue. So it encourages you to befriend those defenders. It says exiled parts in ourselves. You say, like, don't flood me with emotion. I am here to help. I am here to release you, to retrieve you back home to my heart. Now, retrieval to me, I think shamans retrieve. They retrieve. They can help retrieve lost parts of a soul. Like when a person, this is just an example I am making up. Sometimes if someone is abruptly injured, a portion of that energy stays at the scene. So you ask, like whenever you say, highest good for all, right now. Extra angels to assist right now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But I was on a walk. As you know, I like to walk. I meditate when I walk. Those are my meditations. If I have something I'm wondering about and want to examine, I'll go for a walk. Okay, thank you for staying with me so far. So appreciate it. I hope I'm making sense. So exiled parts, defenders being so young, retrieving those parts, setting those parts free, saying to those parts, you don't need to protect me anymore. I am now a grandmother and an elder, and I welcome you. Thank you, and I'm sorry you were that inundated with that emotion. I release you from this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Come home to my heart. Well, this works on a spiritual level as well. So, I am not a trained in anything. I'm not a professional at all. But I've been doing this inner healing every day, for hours a day, at every opportunity. And when there are spiritual ideas that are coming forth and my body responds to it, I lovingly and with compassion ask, like everyone lately, here's an example. Lately everyone's talking about, not everyone, but a number of people are talking about dragon energy. I've thought of dragon energy as the meridians of the earth. And that's about it. But I don't feel dragons. I feel ancient, earthened, stone people, stone and rock, like the bedrock of the earth. I feel that energy waking up because I am feeling that energy coming alive in myself. It feels like in my very foundation. So I asked myself, why are you, who's upset with dragon and who's upset with that energy? What's that about? Where is that held in my body? And remember, I always think that a place in my body will correspond with a place on earth, because we are a part of a living story, multidimensional living story. It's not always important to go put your thumb on it. It's just something to keep in mind as events occur. It will help broaden awareness, which, if you're flexible and curious, the answers can come from anywhere. Anyway, so back to what we're saying. I felt the energy in the back of my neck. I thought, I think the timeline that we're wrapping up started with the energy of Ra, Egypt, the Golden Pyramids. I think that timeline wove through. I think there was manipulation. There was star energy, yes, but there was also manipulation. So my experience of that energy is get off my planet. And I'm like, why do I always have that reaction? Geez, what a stick in the mud I am. Why aren't I all happy, excited? But I trust that I need to be listening to who I am and just be honest about it and leave it up to higher power. Because for all that we're going through, all that we're the awakening that is happening, there are so many hands of our ancestors, all of our ancestors, lifting us up so that we can do this, just like we are wanting to uplift people, seekers that find us and ask questions, and we want to encourage them to listen to their hearts and applaud their successes. And none of us are alone in this. This is a very big story, very big. And there's so many timelines, there's so many beautiful threads in this story. It's all right to examine it, and where you're resonating with it. It's important that you remember you all the way back to your heart. So there's another kind of gold coming in that's of a spiritual nature. And the old way of looking at gold, like the way 45 does, is done. Over. But looking at it spiritually, profound potential. Others know more about that than I do, like at Richie's Reach, he knows about that. At Terry at Holding Your Space, and JJ at Tuta Speaks, many others know more about that than I do, so please go forth, ask, find. It's there. We'll find it together. But this healing that I've been doing for hours a day has really been profoundly healing, because when you release an exiled part or a defender who was given a rotten job they didn't want and has been frozen in time since whenever that particular trauma occurred, they've been frozen there. So to go in to your inner work and rescue and retrieve and transmute that energy brings with it profound joy and love in your heart and awakening. It's a whole new level of awakening to at each part that you welcome home to your heart and you say, we are here. You remember more of your star family. You remember more of your connections here. It's really a wonderful, wonderful gift. So I wanted to share that with you. And I wanted to also just like to, if you get triggered sometimes, if you hear a question or someone makes a statement and it triggers you, which doesn't mean, like you're gonna freak out completely, just like, maybe it's just a tiny, tiny trigger, where you're like, huh, what? Or no, I don't like it. Those kind of things. Please know that you already asked the question before, ago. When a trigger happens, it's your answer coming in. I just realized this today. That affect of trigger means you're getting an answer. So it's really important that you stop what you're doing, ground yourself, ask your body, where is this at in my body? Where is this at? Okay. Tell me about what you're feeling. Okay. And you process that. If there's intense emotion, you say, please step back. They do. And you ask yourself, how do I feel about this part? Well, I wish it, I don't like it. Why not? What would happen if you didn't have this part? What are you protecting from? Well, for her to be exposed, she could get hurt. It could destroy her. Okay. Well, how old do you think that part is? How old do you think she is? The one you're protecting? 4. She is now 62 and a grandmother. And she's healing from the inside out. On a planet that is healing from the inside out. That's why these timelines keep popping up, coming up for healing with love. We are gathering ourselves back home to our heart, to our hearts, individually and together, planet-wide. From the inside out, I am healing. You go to that part, that fender, you thank it for defending, you thank it, you say, I'm sorry you got stuck with a rotten job. I'm 62 now, I'm grown, I'm healed. Please, thank you. Please come home to my heart. Come home to my heart. And you can do this with any feeling you're uncomfortable with, any attitude in yourself that you don't like. Notice I said you don't like, not talking about anybody but you. You can inner counsel yourself. It's just amazing. So thank you so much for stopping by. I really, really appreciate it. I woke up today not feeling very good. Felt like I had a cold, not a big deal, but I went to, took a shower, said, okay, my meditation is when I walk. I need to find out where all this feeling is coming from, find out what energy is there, and do my very best to speak it and to share it with others, and I hope that it is being of service. For spiritual and entertainment purposes only, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for stopping by. I look forward to your comments. Bye for now.